He believed nothing but science. No God, no soul, no unseen. For him, life was just equations, atoms, and cells. But one night, a single verse from the Quran shattered everything he thought he knew. A verse that science itself had no choice but to confirm. And what happened after will send chills down your spine. Stay with me till the end, because this story will make you question everything you thought about truth, proof, and the purpose of life. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Deen in Minute, where every story could change your life forever. He believed nothing but science. He mocked faith. He denied God. But one verse of the Quran shattered everything. This is his story. The city never slept. Neon lights flickered across rain-soaked pavements. Inside a high-rise laboratory, machines hummed like restless spirits. Servers blinked like watchful eyes. And in the middle of it all sat Dr. Arman Rahman. To the world, he was a pioneer, a neuroscientist, philosopher, a man who believed human consciousness could be reduced to synapses, neurons, and electrical sparks. He lectured halls packed with students, publishing papers that made headlines. But when the applause faded, when the lecture halls emptied, Arman would sit in silence, staring into the abyss of his own questions. Because despite all his brilliance, he could not answer the one thing that haunted him. Why am I aware that I am aware? Pushpin to Arman, religion was weakness. He would smirk at prayers, mock scriptures, and dismiss believers as comfort seekers. His creed was clear. If I can't see it, test it, or measure it, it doesn't exist. He called himself free, but deep inside, he was a prisoner, chained by questions he could not silence. The first crack, that stormy night, lightning illuminated the lab. Arman worked late, dissecting data on brain imaging. His project, proving consciousness was nothing more than biology. A knock interrupted his thoughts. His assistant, Miriam, stepped in. She placed his notebook on the desk and softly said, "Professor, do you ever think maybe consciousness is more than neurons? Maybe it's a gift from beyond?" Arman froze. Beyond? God? Soul? Ridiculous. Don't waste my time with fairy tales, he snapped. But Miriam's eyes held no fear. Instead, she recited a verse, almost in a whisper. "Open book, and they ask you concerning the soul. Say, the soul is of the affair of my Lord, and you have not been given of knowledge except a little." Quran 17 hours, 85 minutes. The words pierced the silence. For a moment, Arman felt the ground shift. He brushed it off, muttering coincidence. But that night, when he tried to sleep, the verse echoed like thunder in his skull. "You have not been given of knowledge except a little." A 1,400-year-old book, speaking directly to the very mystery he was chasing. He told himself it was chance, nothing more. But the crack had begun. Signs on the horizon. Days turned into weeks. Arman found himself secretly searching the Quran, not out of faith, but defiance. "I'll prove this book is flawed," he told himself. "I'll expose it with science." But every verse he read only deepened the crack. Open book, we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran 41:53. Horizons, within themselves, signs. He remembered staring through telescopes at distant galaxies and microscopes at living cells, both horizons vast and horizons hidden. Could this book really have spoken of both? Shaking his head, he muttered, No, it's too broad. Just metaphor." But the unease grew. The dream. One night, exhaustion pulled him into sleep at his desk. He dreamed he was standing in an endless desert, the sky burning red. Shadows whispered around him. He saw people running, terrified, and above them, the sun rising from the west. His chest tightened. He had heard somewhere, perhaps in a documentary, that Muslims believed in such a prophecy, but he had dismissed it as myth. Yet here it was vivid, terrifying. In the dream, a voice thundered. "Open book, that day, no soul will benefit from its faith if it had not believed before." Quran 6:158. He woke drenched in sweat, his heart pounding like war drums. Coincidence? Or warning? The war inside, Armand's life began to unravel. Lectures felt hollow. His research lost meaning. Students noticed his silence. Colleagues whispered. He avoided Miriam, afraid of her calm gaze. At night, he argued with himself. It's psychology, hallucinations, fatigue. But what if it's more? No, science explains everything. Then why can't you explain your own existence? He drowned himself in data, yet the Quran's words stalked him like shadows he couldn't escape. A verse of iron. One evening, he attended a conference on geology. A professor displayed slides of iron's origin, explaining that it wasn't native to Earth, but sent down from exploding stars. The audience applauded, but Armand's mind went numb, because weeks earlier he had read, "And we sent down iron, in which is mighty power and benefits for mankind." Quran 57:25. Sent down, not produced, not formed, sent down. Armand gripped his chair. How? How could a 7th century man in a desert know this? He felt his world collapsing. Maybe it is coincidence stacked on coincidence. But the coincidences were becoming too many. The breaking point. Late one night, Armand walked the city streets, rain soaking him to the bone. His reflection stared back from shop windows. A man who had mocked God, now trembling with doubt. He whispered into the storm, "If you are real, show me." Lightning cracked the sky. The power in that moment made his knees buckle. He remembered Miriam's calm voice, the verses, the dream. Tears blurred his vision. Back in his apartment, shaking, he opened the Quran again. His eyes fell on a verse as if guided. Indeed, those who disbelieve is the same whether you warn them or not. They will not believe. Allah has set a seal upon their hearts and upon their hearing, and over their vision is a veil. Quran 2:6-7. He gasped. It felt like the book was reading him. His pride, his arrogance, his blindness, all laid bare. And in that instant, the veil tore. The surrender. At dawn, Armand found himself on the prayer mat Miriam had once left in the lap. His hands shook. His lips trembled. He whispered the words he had once mocked. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. The world fell silent. No thunder, no applause. Just peace, a peace he had never known. For the first time, the emptiness inside him was gone. Aftermath. Months passed. The academic world was stunned when Dr. Armand Rahman announced his resignation, dedicating his life to exploring not just the brain, but the soul. Some mocked him, calling him weak. Others were curious, but he no longer cared. He had found truth, not in the equations of neurons, but in the words of Allah. He would stand before audiences now, holding the Quran, and say, "I spent my life searching for proof. I thought science had all the answers, but science only explained how. The Quran explained why." And when students asked him, "Professor, what changed you?" he would smile, eyes glistening, and reply, "One verse at a time, Allah broke my pride, and one verse at a time, He rebuilt my soul. We will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth." Quran 41:53. Brothers and sisters, this story is not fiction for many. Across the world, thousands who once denied God are finding Him through the Quran. If this story touched your heart, share it. Let someone else's heart awaken too. And don't forget to subscribe to Deen in Minute, where every story is a reminder, and maybe the reason someone finds the light.